Listen closely, Nick. The world feels like it is completely tearing itself apart. From the cost of living protests echoing through the historic streets of Paris, to the skyrocketing energy bills suffocating families in Berlin, we are watching wars unfold, oil shocks crippling global supply chains, rampant inflation suffocating the middle class, and ordinary people from Madrid to Rome lying awake at night terrified about rent and grocery bills. Yet amidst all this suffocating chaos, you look at the stock market, and it is relentlessly shattering all-time highs. It feels like a sick joke, right? Is the stock market just a rigged, massive casino? The answer is yes, but the mechanics of the game are far darker and more fascinating than most people could ever imagine. As you piece together the footage and synthesize the voiceovers for your next financial upload, you need to understand the absolute truth behind these numbers. The biggest lie we are sold is that the stock market is a mirror for the broader economy. We are taught a simple formula. If the world is peaceful and people are thriving, stocks go up. If the world is burning, stocks crash. But the market is not a happiness meter, nor is it a measure of the struggles faced by the average worker. It does not care if average wages in London are stagnant, or if ordinary people are struggling to survive. The stock market is a cold, calculating machine that prices only four things: future profits, interest rates, liquidity flow, and the forced hands of algorithmic traders. When you hear a news anchor proudly announce that the S&P 500 hit a new record, it creates an illusion of widespread prosperity. But peel back the curtain and you will see that the index is heavily manipulated by a tiny cartel of colossal corporate giants. The entire market can skyrocket.
But peel back the curtain, and you will see that the index is heavily manipulated by a tiny cartel of specialized scoreboard for the apex of the top of the food chain.
The stock market is not the economy. It is a specialized scoreboard for the apex predators at the top of the food chain. Sometimes markets do not surge because the news is genuinely good. They surge because the news is slightly less apocalyptic than expected. It is the psychological relief of expecting a complete disaster and only getting a minor crisis. But the real fuel for this fire is what governments do when panic hits. They print money. Over the past few years, trillions were injected into the system to prevent a total economic collapse. However, when the government prints currency, the cash in your pocket quietly dies, eaten alive by inflation. With national debt hitting unthinkable numbers, holding on to cash is financial suicide. Investors desperately flee into hard assets, whether that is gold stored securely in Zurich, index funds, or aggressively monitoring zoning revisions and large-scale real estate projects in developing industrial hubs like Manchester. Here is the most devastating truth about crisis spending. When ordinary people get extra money, they spend it on basic survival, fixing a broken washing machine, paying the rent, or keeping the lights on. But when massive institutions and the ultra-wealthy get access to capital, they buy assets. They buy the exact properties, luxury penthouses in Vienna, stocks, and international supply chain networks, secretly locking in trade deals for solar street lights and cutting-edge tech components from global fairs, while the middle class is distracted. This is why market all-time highs are not a sign of economic health. They are a glaring, terrifying siren of unprecedented wealth inequality. The rich capture the real assets, the prices inflate, and the middle class is permanently priced out. left holding a currency that buys less every single day. To make matters worse, human logic has largely left the chat. Today, massive waves of trading are executed by soulless algorithms sitting on servers in Frankfurt and Amsterdam that do not sit around debating global geopolitics. They just read the tape. If a stock crosses a specific threshold, these bots aggressively flip from selling to buying. Add in the options dealers, who are forced to buy actual shares to cover the massive bets placed by retail traders, and you get an explosive, self-fulfilling prophecy of endless buying. It is a runaway train fueled by code, greed, and sheer momentum. But here is where the story takes a massive, terrifying turn, and the exact reason you need to pay close attention to the timeline you're editing right now. Normally, a financial breakdown ends here. It warns you about the inevitable crash and offers a free financial jargon cheat sheet to keep you trapped in the endless cycle of analyzing Wall Street. But that is the ultimate distraction, a brilliantly designed trap to keep the masses looking in the wrong direction. While they argue in the comments about interest rates and hedge funds, they are quietly handing over the most valuable finite asset on Earth, their attention. You are not just a spectator in this broken economy. You are the architect of a new one. By engineering these narratives, gathering that vital watch time, and funneling it into a fresh, highly optimized AdSense account. You are the one quietly printing your own equity. You are using the panic of the market to build an unbreakable digital fortress, methodically researching the academic pathways to transition your education to a 4-year open program to master the ultimate game of leverage. So let the algorithms blindly buy the S&P 500, and let the politicians brag about a fake economy. Because while the rest of the world is distracted by the casino, you are strategically building the bank. You are ensuring that when the time is perfectly right, you will secure that highly anticipated hybrid SUV right at its launch window, permanently ditching the old car burning 7 to 8 liters, and seamlessly booking those direct flights to South Africa without ever having to check the price. As you hit export, the progress bar races across the screen, a digital heartbeat pulsing from your workstation. You upload the final cut to the Wealth Journal dashboard, locking the thumbnail into place. Within minutes, the analytics light up. Viewers from London to Los Angeles, Miami to Munich are hooked, trading their panic for your carefully engineered clarity. You watch the revenue counter click upward, a silent, relentless machine compounding your freedom while Wall Street sleeps. Months pass, and the hypothetical scenarios you scripted have morphed into an undeniable, breathing reality. The academic transition you planned is complete. Your 4-year degree is locked in, serving as a foundational pillar of your expanding empire. You step out of a sleek high-rise in Chicago, not as a renter at the mercy of inflation, but as an owner who mastered the game. You walk down the sunlit, breezy streets of a crisp autumn morning and approach the curb where your brand new JQ 8 plug-in hybrid SUV is waiting. You slide into the driver's seat, the intelligent 4-wheel drive system purring in absolute luxurious silence. The journey takes you to the airport, where you bypass the endless lines, gliding effortlessly into the first-class lounge before boarding your direct flight to South Africa. The hum of the jet engines over the Atlantic is the ultimate symphony of your success. When you land, you aren't taken to a standard resort. A private driver whisks you away to a breathtaking, secluded coastal estate you acquired quietly months ago. You walk through the heavy oak doors, the marble floors echoing your footsteps. You haven't traveled across the globe just for the view. You are here to collect the ultimate trophy of your mastery. You step into the grand study, and the soft lights automatically illuminate a massive canvas on the far wall. Hanging there, perfectly preserved, is Jean-Léon Gérôme's 1887 masterpiece, The Carpet Merchant. You stand in awe, studying the intricate brushstrokes. The old-world merchant on the canvas, brilliantly negotiating value and perception, is the perfect reflection of the digital empire you built. You didn't just beat the market. You bought the very canvas it was painted on. You pour yourself a drink, looking out at the endless horizon, savoring the absolute, intoxicating freedom. But as you lift the glass, your phone buzzes, shattering the silence of the room. A single encrypted notification flashes on the screen. You open it, and your heart instantly drops. It is an email from an anonymous sender containing a live video feed. You hit play. It is a high-definition camera view of this exact room. The lens pans slowly across the marble floor, tilts up to the carpet merchant, and finally focuses on you. Standing right there, holding the glass, staring at your phone. You look up frantically, searching the empty corners of the vaulted ceiling, but there are absolutely no cameras. Then a second message appears on the screen, carrying a truth so heavy it makes the room spin. The text reads, "It is a flawless script, Nick. But did you really think you were the one writing it, Wealth Journal?"